We're back with more tales to give you goosebumps. Bum 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 bum. With Night of the Living Dummy 3, finally, the end of the dummies. And we have Egg Monsters from Mars, and what's the third one there? The Bad Hair Day?
It's Bad Hair Day.
Yeah. Starting off with Night of the Living Dummy 3.
My gosh.
Slappy is back. Slappy Smiley. Trina
Fun.
Odell's dad used to have a ventriloquist act. That's why he has all those dummies in the attic. He calls it his dummy museum.
Nice.
There's a dummy with freckles and one with a sneer just like Rocky. Trina and her brother Dan think the dummies are pretty cool. I don't know what's wrong with them. But now there are voices in the attic, and dummies keep showing up in the strangest places. No way those dummies could be alive, right? I don't know, what's with these kids being super into, ventriloquism?
It's really disturbing.
It's very odd.
It is super disturbing. Again, not a fan. This is probably my least favorite.
Yes, this is my least favorite of the three. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I'm just so overslapped.
I hovered between a 5 and a 6 for this one.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah, ended up giving a 6 towards the end, but it's a shaky 6, I don't know.
It's just it reminds me of Scooby-Doo in a way. Mm-hmm. It's so this is what's going to happen, and then this is going to happen, and then this is what's going to happen, and this is how it's going to be resolved.
Yeah, and it just didn't work that well. It wasn't horribly written, and there were a couple chuckle-worthy moments and things like that. But overall, he's just sort of mischievous, but not even in the same.
He's a dick.
Yeah,
he's not
mischievous.
He's a jerk.
He's a jerk.
Dick.
Yeah. So I was gonna say not in the same ways like the garden gnomes were.
No, he's just a dick.
Yeah, he's a bit of a jerk, and that's about it. It's a story about a little wooden jerk.
But
who insults people's parents when kids are playing with them.
I just don't understand his motivation, because he wants you to be his slave, but he never says
I
want you to be my slave to take over the world, to take over the house.
I always thought
what's your motivation?
I always thought the final one, this one, or if there was a fourth one, whatever, it should be from the perspective of a kid who goes to a school, and the new kid in school is acting really strange, and it's because that new kid in school is actually Slappy's slave, and it's about saving that kid from Slappy, and you get into it but it's always the same. It's always the same kind of story.
Win.
I don't know.
You'd think after this many times at least, he would figure it out.
Yeah,
he'd figure out something better
not that
to do.
great. But what?
That book.
Yeah.
That book is super hard to find. You try and
find
that
one is. Yeah,
that one was one of the hardest ones.
That's one of the hard ones to find. Yeah.
So it's kind of beat up, but you got it.
You'll find a better copy someday. But moving on to one that I think is much better. You don't really agree, but
Bad Hair Day. Pick a scare. Any scare. Trick cards, floating scars, disappearing doves. Tim Swanson loves magic tricks. Someday he wants to be a real magician, just like his all-time favorite hero, Amazo.
It's funny.
Clean your toilet bowls. But then Tim goes to Amazo's show, and he finds his idol is a total grump. A grump. That's a word you would use.
Horse hockey.
That's when Tim decides to steal the bag of tricks. Escalation. Really? Amazo's bag of secret tricks. Scary tricks. The one with the multiplying red balls and all those hissing snakes.
You always make fun of my Potterisms.
You're an old man.
I am an old
really
man. I watch MASH all the time.
But this was super disappointing for me.
I like that one. I give that one a solid 8.
No, I got a 6, but there was a cat named Boo Boo.
There was a cat.
Which kind of added to the whole sense of meh.
Every cat should be named Shulk, I think. But no, I like this because this is one of the very few examples of where one of the Goosebumps books doesn't have to be scary to be entertaining. Because I think a lot of them are the fright factor works. Some of them are not quite as scary. They're more just a fun tale, and that doesn't always work out. This, I really like the characters. The brother-sister relationship for me played out completely realistically.
No, I think the sister was out of her freaking mind.
Yeah, completely realistically.
I don't think that's realistic though.
Completely realistically from my life experience, it works out. But and I really think it played out well, and I like the idea of there's sort of again one of those sort of messages in disguise of never meet your heroes. That it really is a true thing, because they're not what you perceive them to be. We build this person up to be. They're an actual individual with
that's one
flaws.
thing we never agreed with.
What?
Because you always wanted to meet your heroes. I've never wanted to meet anybody.
Certain people, and I think I grew out of that a little bit more. But there are certain people that I would like to meet, just because even though I understand that they're flawed, but I respect them and would like to have, and I would actually have something to say. But then there are other heroes where I don't want to meet them because I don't want to ruin that image.
Yeah.
And other ones who are childhood heroes who turned out to be brainwashed douchebags. Mr. Sorbo. And then there are others that like I can't meet because I would probably pass out. I can't meet Laura Bertram. But like, so to me, like I do think that's like a message that is again one of those like hidden messages. It's not presented as well as some of the other ones. But,
I just hate the name Amazo. It just sounds like a cleaning product.
But that's what's beautiful about it is that it is absolutely ridiculous and stupid. It's just funny. Like I think this one, I laughed a lot reading this one.
I liked Amazo when we met him. I really enjoyed him. I would like to hear that story.
Yeah.
Frank Oz,
Yeah.
the sorcerer.
Yes.
That was awesome. He is a sorcerer.
And I do think we both agreed the ending was a little weak. Wasn't quite where I wanted to go. But,
It was weak.
No, I thought it was fun, and I think it was a good realistic depiction of kids, and like I think that worked out really well for me.
I don't know. I had a problem with the sister. She just seemed a
Yeah,
little
but
too like psychotic for me.
I have a problem with most people's sisters, but no.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm telling my sister.
No, Katie and Anya are fine, but but no, I just overall, but one that I thought was then went the whole other direction. I think you might agree with this one. I didn't look at your score, but which came first, the monster or the egg? An egg hunt. That's what Dana Johnson's bratty little sister Brandy wants to have on her birthday.
Of course.
Brandy. I feel like that's such a 90s name. And whatever Brandy wants, Brandy gets. Dana's not big on egg hunts, but that was before she found the egg. It's not like a normal egg, it's about the size of a softball, and it's covered with ugly blue and purple veins, and it's starting to hatch. But I hate the way the blurb is, and I hate the way the cover is, because the egg monsters aren't really monsters.
No, they're not monsters.
They're not monsters. And I think it was kind of like a rude kind of shock as you're reading it, because that's what you're expecting. You're expecting, not just from the cover art, but the blurb and the way the story starts off, like you're expecting them to be these, like, supposed to this horrible monster thing, and them to turn into, maybe hatch into, like, gremlin type of a story, like, in a way.
That would have been awesome.
That's what I was
really
that's what I was
cool.
expecting, but it's really not that
There's
at all.
been no gremlins.
Yeah. I don't think there are any like real like gremlin like ripoff creatures. That's
Yeah.
I would kind of expect that, but
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, overall, like I just didn't. It wasn't what I was expecting, and sometimes the surprise is good. Sometimes the surprise is bad, like Shock on Shock Street, and this was a bad surprise. I give this a 5 out of 10.
Surprise.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, I gave it a 6.5 because there's a dog. His name is Stubby, and he's a sheepdog. So I like that. He's a big dog. But I had a lot of problems with Dana. Dana's a boy, first of all, which is weird. That's like such a time, like of that time. I feel like there's very few Danas now.
There are certain names that are definitely from a certain time period, and I also think there are certain names that are both like you find like boys and girls with that name, but it depends on the era. Like I think there are certain eras or certain names where it's like, oh, that's a boy name.
Ashley?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Now, like, how many boys are named Ashley?
Yeah, like there's so many names I think that like depends on the decade that could have been for both, but then it switches to like only one gender for a while, and like it's curious. It's just another thing reading these Goosebumps books. A lot of the terminology and a lot of the popular kids' names and things.
Yeah.
Just something that stands out.
I liked that the dad during her birthday party was like going crazy with the camcorder, because that was like my whole
That was
life.
your childhood, yeah.
My whole life was my dad with the camcorder,
Yeah.
so he didn't have to interact
Your dad
with us.
has a big thing on his shoulder and a Borg eye. That's how you remember of your dad.
Yeah, that was my dad. But I just loved that. But the thing that ruined it for me was that Dana hates macaroni and cheese. What kind of kid hates macaroni and cheese?
That's true.
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
So then I really didn't care after that.
Yeah.
I was done.
Pretty
I really
sure
didn't care.
my little cousin Terry would die if we didn't have macaroni and cheese.
I would
At least
die.
once a week. Yeah,
I would
it's
die
at least
without
once a
mac and
week, or like
cheese.
yeah.
I love mac and cheese. I love it.
But
We should have
yeah,
mac and cheese
we both
now.
agree that one's not that great. So, and it was again like last time. It keeps going in. I just have to mention this again.
Yeah.
It keeps going in strings where we had a couple of like really good ones in a row that we mostly agreed on, and then a couple of like not so great ones, a little bit disagreement, but like they keep going in like little like sections. It's very strange.
And this next section from tomorrow.
Yeah, this next is a big one.
The big one.
Yeah, this is one that we were both a little bit kind of worried about. The next one we'll explain tomorrow. We'll see you, yes, upon the morrow, depending where you live, I guess.